Oh, guys, man, please don't get it twisted, man. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Now, there's a lot of noise going on around YouTube and around social media about what Colin Cowherd said about Shedeur Sanders. But don't get it twisted, man. You got to look at some of these people's takes and what they say about Shedeur Sanders. Some of it be underhanded compliments. But he did go on record to state about Deion Sanders, and he threw a major diss at Deion Sanders. And the reason why he threw that major diss at Deion Sanders is because of what happened in the draft. And Colin Cowherd, and a lot of people say it was fault to Deion Sanders that Shedeur Sanders slipped to the 5th round. But in the same token, he tried to give Shedeur Sanders a compliment, but it was underhanded. And the reason why I was saying it's underhanded is because you guys remember back when Shedeur was playing under the Kevin Stefanski regime, Colin Cowherd was throwing some serious shade at Shedeur Sanders after a series of bad decisions. So we have the receipt. So now all of a sudden what they doing is they flip-flopping. And you know what I call them? I call them flippers. And the crazy thing about it is we're going to get off into it right after this.
What's up, K-Sap? Yeah. James Ford, that's me. Let me talk to him. Let's get it.
I'm simply ball dropping, simply ball dropping. Chopping up these topics, man, I'm simply ball dropping. Driving coast to coast, making moves, ain't stopping. Driving coast to coast, making moves, ain't stopping. Nah.
Hey, let me put you on game. These other podcasts out here talking that shit, but ain't repping the same. It's my bro K-Sap, chopping up topics for your optics. From politics to cockpits, tune in, you gotta watch this. Exclusive material for your radio, stereo, pumping high definition. Stop what you doing and listen, we smashing all competition. You better jump on this wave. Somebody pass me a mic, man, I got something to say.
And now, your host of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast, the man behind the mic, K-Sap.
Well, guys, man, Colin Cowherd had a lot to say, man. And we're going to dissect it, and we're going to get off into it, man. And at the same time, man, he's throwing major shots at Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Basically, he called Deion Sanders a poor agent. And, you know, there's this notion about a lot of things about Deion Sanders that people make up. We've heard the likes of Jason Whitlock on how he used to crucify Deion Sanders when he took over for the Colorado Buffaloes. And he said that it was a caught feeling up there in Colorado. And some of these major media outlets, such as Fox, ESPN, and others to be mentioned, a lot of these so-called experts, I say so-called experts, they have a lot to say. And a lot of people had a lot to say last year when Shedeur Sanders was a rookie playing under the Kevin Stefanski regime. We've heard the saying and things saying like Dillon Gabriel was hands down better than Shedeur, and that's the reason why Dillon Gabriel started over Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders was playing a uphill climb, battling his way to get to the promised land to become an NFL starter. Knowing that he was picked in the 5th round, but we know that he was picked in the 5th round, but he was not a 5th round talent. He was the 1st to 2nd round talent. And a lot of people had a lot of things to say. But now that all the praises are coming for Shedeur Sanders from his general manager, head coach, a lot of people are now starting to flip-flop and weigh in on Shedeur Sanders on his maturation process because of the things that they've heard from the new head coach, Todd Monken, and also the general manager, Andrew Berry. So Colin Cowherd, we know some of his takes are ridiculous because you guys remember when he had that claim about LeBron James talking about he'll never be, the player at the age of 40 that Michael Jordan was. Well, how did that turn out? That turned out bad for Colin. And now it seems like he wants to get on the other side. It seems like he wants to get on Shedeur Sanders' good side. So, guys, I want y'all to listen to what Colin Cowherd had to say when it hadn't come to reference to Shedeur Sanders, the underhanded compliments that he said, and try to reference a lot of people in that, and then how he dissed Deion Sanders. Let's take a listen.
About, 5 weeks ago, that Shedeur Sanders broke Tom Brady's record for most merchandise sold. I said it's very Tim Tebow, but he can actually play. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is a bad kid. I think he's a little immature, a little silly for my taste, but I think he's got real talent. And I think he was underdrafted in the 5th round. I said, at worst, late second. I think he can play. I think he's big enough, accurate enough, mobile enough. I think you can win games with Shedeur. I'm not saying he's a great franchise guy, but I think Cleveland the last couple of years has aced the draft, and I think they're going to win games this year. Not 2 or 3, 6, 7, or 8. I really believe that. I think they have really good players.
That's underhanded.
They have an offensive coach.
7 or 8.
And here's Andrew Berry on Shedeur's offseason development. Listen to this.
He's had an excellent spring, Anthony. I mean, the past 8 to 10 weeks, and really probably beyond that, really the past 6 months with, as a rookie player and particularly a quarterback, you learn a lot your first year. And especially if you don't start a full season, you start 6, 7, or I guess you start 7 games. And you kind of go through the year, it's adjustment going to the NFL, and then you get a chance to catch your breath and say, okay, well, here are the things that I need to work on, here are the things I need to learn. And I think he did a phenomenal job this offseason.
You know what also did him a disservice, Shedeur? His dad, Deion Sanders.
Wow.
Here's what we know. He's a great all-time NFL player, a pretty good Major League Baseball player, a so-so head coach, and a terrible agent. During Super Bowl week, he cut it out with a lot of hosts, and the overwhelming sentiment was, I don't want my kids playing for some of these lousy teams. The problem, of course, is the lousy teams are the ones that need a quarterback. So he alienated, dad did, and dads can do this with their athletic sons. He alienated many of the teams that were interested. Reportedly, some team took him off their board that needed a quarterback. So Todd Marinovich's dad, there's an argument. He did his son no favors. Alonzo Ball acknowledges his dad forced him to wear the big baller brand shoes. And I read a quote this morning. He goes, to be honest with you, I think one of the reasons I suffered so many rookie injuries was the shoes. I never got hurt until I started wearing them. Lonzo Ball's words, not mine. So I think Deion at the Super Bowl was glib and funny and entertaining, but I think he alienated people. And I think Shedeur can play. It's a hill I'm going to die on. I think he was underdrafted. And listen, sometimes you miss. Brock Purdy, 7th round. Brock can play. Do I think Brock has great traits, size? No. And I don't think Shedeur does either. But I will tell you, Andrew Berry is really sharp. And they may not have wanted to draft him, right, because of some of the pre-draft stuff. You guys, he can play. This is going to become Tebow, except a guy can actually win games. That's what this is going to become. And I'll throw this out there for the doubters. Shedeur started the final 7 games last year for Cleveland, and their offensive line was putrid. It was ranked 31st. He had more touchdown passes in that stretch than Josh Allen.
Now, guys, did you hear exactly what Colin Cowherd had to say? Did y'all hear what Colin Cowherd had to say? And there's a lot of things that I'm going to point out. Because he dissed Deion Sanders wholeheartedly. And then, in the same token, what did he do? He said that Shedeur can win games, 6, 7, or 8. Do you realize Shedeur Sanders started the last 7 games of the season last year and he won 3 games with the putrid offensive line like he alluded to, right? But now you basically want to say he can win 6 or 7, 8. That's another underhanded compliment. So be careful in what you listen to when you hear it from Colin Cowherd. Then he referenced him to Tim Tebow type. Come on, man. How you going to put Shedeur Sanders and Tim Tebow in the same sentence? And then he started off by saying he's too immature and too silly for his liking. But then he threw some compliments in there at the same time undermining him. Then he's talking about he can't be a franchise quarterback. He's talking about they didn't want to draft him, but Andrew Berry is sharp. Then he said about Brock Purdy, 7th round. And then he said Shedeur can play. I agree with what the quarterback positions are when they get drafted because we saw what Tom Brady did as a 6th rounder. We saw how he became the greatest quarterback that we've seen. So people just don't give Shedeur Sanders a chance. But all these undermined and underhanded compliments that they want to throw at Shedeur Sanders, where was all this last year? Where was all the praise last year? He didn't get none. Y'all didn't start praising Shedeur Sanders until you heard it from the general manager and the head coach on the progress that Shedeur Sanders has made. See, that's the problem I have. These undermined and underhanded compliments that they're throwing at Shedeur Sanders. That's why I call them flippers. I call them flippers. And Colin Cowherd, some of his takes on Fox, you got to pay attention to because Colin Cowherd has been wrong several times on his takes. So I know everybody's saying, oh, Colin Cowherd gave Shedeur Sanders his praise. They underhanded compliments. Underhanded compliments. Y'all get down in the comment section.
I see everyone in the comment section. #salute. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you will know every time I drop a hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot, tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And that will wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Catch you on the next one.